On this video, I'm going to talk about the ego, the avatar, and its limitations. My name is Jessica Madden. On my channel here on YouTube, I help people raise their awareness and become successful as a result. I share the great tips which I picked up through learning great lessons in my life, and I help people become very successful. Reminding you once again that the 100th subscriber to my channel here on YouTube, by pressing that subscribe button and being the 100th subscriber, you will receive a free gift which I will personally ship out to you wherever you are. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about ego, the avatar, and its limitations. This week, Jews from around the world read in their synagogues the Torah portion called Pershot Balak. In Pershot Balak, Balak calls for Bilam to go and curse the Jews. He found no other way to get rid of the Jews. He figured, well, I heard that this guy Bilam, who I don't really like, but I heard that he could come along and curse Jews through channeling. Okay, let's have him come along, do his means of channeling gods, and hence get rid of the Jews by cursing the Jews that way. Great idea. Bilam comes along. Yeah, sure, I'm going to do that. I believe in my ego, in my avatar. I have no limitations because my ego told me I haven't got any limitations. So he comes along. It's quite funny because the ego does tell us that we have limitations when it comes to fears, but I won't go into that today. But talking about the story between Balak and Bilam, Bilam comes along, tells God, I want to go curse the Jews. God says, don't do that. Don't come along curse the Jews, they are blessed people. Balaam says to himself, well, my ego says that this is the right thing to do and I want to move along with my plan. So Balaam comes along and says, I'm going to attempt to curse the Jews. I'm going to channel God and curse the Jews. Because he had these powers of channeling and he was able to kill people by doing this. He comes along and he can't get into the right position to curse the Jews. He brings offerings 7 different times, doesn't help. And then Balaam's donkey crashes into a wall, and the angel's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I've been doing, the angel talks to the donkey's mouth. And he's like, what are you doing? I've been serving you for so many years. What are you doing? Why are you not listening to the universe's messages and God's message saying, don't do this? Nonetheless, Bilam is quite trapped in his ego. He knows God said he's not going to be successful cursing the Jews. Nonetheless, he goes and attempts to curse the Jews, attempts to channel God and curse the Jews. He ends up channeling God and blessing the Jews. Nonetheless, Bilam knew that there are other ways to hurt the Jews. That's why he made them sin. By making them sin, he figured it will cause problems and that will serve the purpose. He makes the Jews sin. There is a plague thereafter. Thing is, though, that Balaam is killed in a horrible way in war by the Jewish people. That's his punishment. That's God's way of telling Balaam, I told you not to do it. Silly you had to listen to your limited avatar. You had to listen to your ego. Sad. I can't help it. I also at times listen to my ego. I won't deny it. I will not sit here in denial and say, nope, I'm a perfect person. I never fall into my ego, and my avatar never, ever controls me. Doesn't work like that. I won't deny it. I won't deny the fact that my ego and my avatar stands in my way at times. At times, it comes out in a form of fear. I fear to do a good thing because I'm afraid. That's the ego showing fear. That's actually what I mentioned before about the irony of the ego. At times, the ego tells us to be afraid. Don't do it. That's too scary, and it wants to protect us. But other times, it wants us to be that multimillionaire, but we're not really there yet. So the ego is limited, and the ego has lots of contradictions. I've spoken in many, many YouTube videos about the fact that every single human being has an ego, has a limited understanding of the self, and also has contradictions. I've never met a human being who has never had any contradictions. I've never met that human being. But that's for another video. In this video, I'm talking about the amazing story of Bilam and how he fell after falling for his ego. You know, I find that when I do for others with no intent for recognition, whatsoever, I am successful as a result. I see it time and again. As it says in PreK, which is a Jewish book on all about good deeds, it says when you run away from respect, respect naturally comes towards you. If you run towards respect, if you expect recognition and respect from others, and that's your ego standing around with this huge thinking thought of the self and the avatar, respect runs away from you. I see it time and again. If you do something with the intent of recognition, it's limited and it doesn't last. And it's fascinating. Ever since I started liking people's posts easily on Facebook, on YouTube, liking people's videos, and liking people's messages, which is such an easy act to do, I've noticed that the universe, God, is paying me back. I see this all the time. I get energy to do the right things. I get energy to do things for people. And I get money coming in from unexpected places. God is unbelievable. God has no limits. When it comes to the universe and God, there's no limits. There's no such thing as limitations. There's no such thing as a limit. God can do whatever you need to be done for you. But you gotta be in the frequency and you gotta be in the right place. I spoke about this on Thursday's video. I spoke about the law of attraction. I said, yes, the law of attraction does work, and I know it works. But, thing is that you need to get yourself into the mindset, and that takes work. Not hard work, though. You know, in life, we go through life believing that we are so amazing, that we are this avatar. This is us. Now think about that. There are no human beings who live over 100, 110 the most, right? None of us expect to live over age 100. Nonetheless, we are tempted to think that what we decide today is very important, and my avatar is very important, and my ego is very important. But sweetheart, you're going to be buried in 40, 50, 60, however many years. You're not going to last. Nobody lasts. We are all limited human beings. We are all temporary human beings. Sweetheart, what are you doing to yourself? Why are you buying into this avatar? It doesn't last. Sweetheart, why are you afraid to do what you're passionate about? You're worried about this avatar? It doesn't last. Just do it. Don't be afraid. Just do it. Get out there and do it. I tell people, get out there. Compete with me on YouTube. Put out YouTube videos. Do things for the universe. What are you waiting for? You're afraid? How long are you going to take you? How far do you want to take you free? You want to take down to the grave? Now, I understand people don't have to do YouTube videos. Do whatever they're passionate about, whatever it may be. But the point is, do it. Don't allow your ego, which is a total contradiction, has one huge contradiction in this thought in and of itself. Because on the one hand, the ego wants you to get every bit of respect and recognition from every single human being on the planet. On the other hand, the ego tells you, well, you can't get out there, do what you're passionate about, because what is a neighbor down the road going to say? And what is that person? That person's going to laugh at you. You know, a couple of days ago, I was sitting somewhere and somebody was staring at me. Staring at me. What would I have done in my olden days? I would have said, I'm embarrassed. I'm being stared at. Ew. You know what I did? I just carried on doing what I was doing. Somebody can't stare at me. Somebody can't find me weird. And so let's say somebody finds me weird and they're laughing at me. Is that going to stop me? Why should it stop me? That somebody laughing at me is not going to last forever. They're also going to die one day. We all die one day. Who cares? Forget about this limited idea and this limited ego. Get out of the mindset of the ego. It just keeps us down, keeps us in fear, and keeps us worrying about nothing that is tangible and real. That's my message today. What do you think about this message? You know, I do fight with my ego at times, because at times my ego does come in and hurts me. But as time goes on, I'm getting better and better and better at realizing at this funny avatar, this funny little ego, which is trapping me into nonsensical ways of thinking. Every so often, I have this little fight within me, and everyone does. Nobody could avoid it entirely, but with time, you become much, much better at observing yourself, and much, much better at laughing at your own ego and your own little avatar. What do you think about it? Please leave it in the comment section down below. And what did you think about Friday's video? Episode 8, my transition. Please leave that in the comment section down below, or comment on that video. I already put out 8 episodes on the topic of my transition. You know what's fascinating? I'll tell you what's fascinating. Last week, I had a bit of an epiphany. I was like, wow, I've just gone up a step. I've spoken about some really scary times in my life. So I've taken myself up a step, and I realized the train of thought I had thereafter. But this week, when I gave my YouTube video, you know, this is all universal God sent. When I gave my YouTube video, when I spoke on Friday about my transition stage, my transition episode 8, I realized, and I spoke about the concept of 2 things I spoke about. I spoke about the idea and the concept of me having blank memories. Memories just went blank. No recollection what happened. Total blackout. I never realized I had blackouts. And I mean, of course, I've known in the past I've had blackouts, but I never really thought about that. I never really realized what it felt like. And I really felt it this week when I put out the YouTube video. And another thing I realized was that I was very much like an actor. I was just acting in a movie. That's what I felt like, and that's what I projected in this week's video. Check it out. Check me out on Friday's YouTube video. It's really amazing. It's really awesome. And what do you think about it? Please leave it in the comment section down below, or leave it on Friday's video, and check out all the other 7 other episodes on the topic. Yeah, that's my message today. Leave in the comment section down below what you think. If you like this video, press the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, why not press that subscribe button? It's that easy. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a great evening with high vibrations, high frequency, and lots of love. Sending you my love. I love you all, my amazing viewers and subscribers. I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's video.